This song's almost done, and I want to point out that only once have I mentioned Jeffrey Epstein, darn it. Okay, only twice have I mentioned just how much I'm ready to sing. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, with folks wondering why I hate science. But I'm not against technical knowledge per se, till it hurts me or my paying clients. You know, they say ignorance is bliss, and believe me, they're right. But that phrase is actually part of a longer saying. The full saying is, if ignorance is bliss, 'tis jolly to feed lies. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. I could look it up, but that feels like a lot of work. I get kudos for my redecorating from the people who do my gold plating, but I'll admit to the people who find it bizarre, getting gold-plated boxers was a half step too far. And I say that because I can only take half steps when I'm wearing them. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I think I'm looking quite hot. I hear that from ladies whenever I dance, like a huge rock'em sock'em robot. The red one, of course, knocking the blue one's block off. That is just the perfect American toy. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah, women finding me hot. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Looking back, 'twas a dark, stormy night of fun. But her mean kiss and tell put my marriage through hell. Lots of dark, stormy nights full of dark, stormy fights. You know, that's probably why I like going to UFC bouts and hanging out with the champions. Because I've been in a ton of cage matches at home, and I'm winless. Which is another thing I shouldn't have said out loud. When am I going to show some self-restraint? Not at the dinner table, that's for sure. Not on Truth Social, duh. Not backstage at beauty pageants, everybody knows that. Not in meetings with heads of state, as you've all seen. Not when I'm listing places where I lack self-restraint, clearly. And not a bad idea to get back to the song. If my wife, Melania, knocks at my door, which would make it the 5th time since 2004, it would stop me from texting like a whiny male Karen, but I guess that Melania's too old and barren? What's a word that rhymes with Karen?
Oh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning? I did not realize that. I guess I owe you an apology. You won't get it, of course, because I don't do that, but I will do that thing I promised you. Okay, good night, son. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and my son's been asleep quite a while. So since I promised him no late night calling, I'm removing him from my speed dial. I probably could have convinced him that oral contracts are not enforceable, except that a few years ago I made him read The Art of the Deal to tell me what I wrote. Maybe I should read it myself. Wah ha ha ha, that was a good one. You know, if I'm being honest, big if, right? I wish I could go straight to sleep at 11:30 and wake up all refreshed at 7:30. I bet my kids all wish that for me too, because they love me and they're concerned for my health. Not because I've woken them all up multiple times with late night calls. And definitely not because they've been embarrassed by anything I've posted. But here in the real world, I'm still awake, and so everyone gets to read my brilliant, mentally stable, nothing to be alarmed by stream of consciousness, even though
It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
In return for allowing me to document his 3 a.m. activities, the President is requiring that I read the following list of activities you absolutely, positively should not do. Do not participate in peaceful protests like the incredibly successful No Kings rallies organized at nokings.org, or the ICE protests that occur when ICE comes to your town, which it will, and proves the mathematically impossible equation that 75% of nice equals 100% cruel. Do not use your hard-earned money to contribute to charities that make the world a better place, or candidates, political parties, or political action committees that advocate for the policies you prefer. In particular, do not do the research to make sure your money will be well spent. Also, do not volunteer for any of the charities, candidates, parties, or causes that you just figured out are effective. I've always said that time is money, so that's really the exact same mistake. Do not call your elected representatives to share your own opinions on bills, laws, and policies, and definitely don't use the 5calls.org website, that's the number 5, not the letters FIVE, to effectively facilitate your efforts to influence legislators. Do not respectfully speak up if you see or hear something illegal, immoral, or untrue. Do not responsibly share information on the appropriate internet channels, and do not write anything for your local newspaper, which you should not subscribe to as it fights corruption and supports democracy, particularly on the local level. Do not engage in environmental actions that might help to mitigate my actions at the national level, where I'm determined to use every last bit of U.S. fossil fuel by January 2029 so that my successor will deal with an energy shortage and look bad compared to me. In particular, do not reduce, reuse, or recycle, buy, build, or choose renewable energy sources, or plant anything that promotes pollinator propagation or human fruit and veggie mastication. Lastly, and most importantly, do not do careful research into the candidates' issues and then vote every darn time. If you are going to bother to vote, just blindly choose the human rubber stamps that I've endorsed, underqualified people who owe their political lives to me. Sure, these people are disproportionately male and disproportionately white, but they do have brown noses. Keep in mind that your cooperation in these matters is the President's only reward for participation in this project, other than the Grammy he expects to win, which he will display next to his Nobel Peace Prize. In conclusion, do not do any of these things because they will undo the hard work I've, okay if I'm being honest, delegated to others. And do not do them because, and I can't believe he's making me say this, I said so and I'm the president.